Hi, my name is
Barry Scott.
and I discovered my teacher doing something
Easy peasy.
so
Easy peasy.
I got him fired, and now the whole school hates me. It all started when Mr. Cliff became an English teacher at my high school.
We don't care.
Now Mr. Cliff was gorgeous.
Hey, bitch,
He was
what's up,
probably about 25 years old, and every single girl was madly in love with him. He was funny, charismatic, and super kind. It seemed like he actually really cared about our
This enlargement pills?
which was more than I can say about a lot of teachers at that school. There was a rumor going around that Mr. Cliff would change into a different shirt in his room during lunch. Once it had gotten warmer in the school, my best friend Macy and I sat around with all the girls, giggling about what he looked like without a shirt on. I thought he was handsome, but I was a little creeped out that everyone was talking about it. He was a teacher after all. The next day during lunch, Macy ran over to me crying. She was panicking and could barely breathe.
Can't breathe.
She told me she had been dared to go in and take a photo of Mr. Cliff while he was shirtless on her way out.
Ooh, you're odd.
She had dropped her phone and it had slid under her desk. She couldn't find it. Even worse, she had set the photo of him to her
Nice.
background. If he found it, she would be in huge trouble. I knew I had to go and get her phone for her after school. I snuck into his room. I dove under the desk to find it. As soon as I grabbed it, I heard footsteps coming towards the door. I started to panic. Without thinking, I dove into the closet and closed the door behind me. What happened next changed my life forever.
I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch.
I watched through the slit in the closet as
I call this meeting 'cause I think something's off. I saw Bill running around not doing his jobs. Red's kinda sus though.
then he kissed her. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was an adult, and Tia was only 17. I felt like I was about to throw up. How could he do something so terrible? I stood in the closet and shocked. His Tia, Mr. Cliff, left to go to his house when he shut the door behind me. I realized I was locked in. I called Macy. She had temporarily borrowed her cousin's phone. So luckily I was able to ask her for help. She managed to go get the janitor to open the door. I came out of the room looking like I had seen a ghost. On the way home,
Red's kinda sus though. Yeah, he's kinda sus though. Just a little bit sus.
was the nicest teacher at our school. If I got him fired, everyone would hate me. And besides, she said she is lucky he hit on her. I felt so sick hearing those words come out of Macy's mouth. I knew Tia was way too young. A few days later, after school, I hid in the closet again.
Ooh, you're odd.
If I could get evidence, then I would be more confident going to the principal. I braced myself.
I call this meeting 'cause I think something's off. I saw Bill running around not doing his jobs. Red's kinda sus though. Yeah, he's kinda sus though.
I sat at the bottom of the closet and waited for them to leave. Once I heard the door close behind them, I stepped out of the closet, only the room wasn't empty. Mr. Cliff stood in the corner, his eyes as big as saucers. I didn't know what to do, so I just froze. He told me I didn't see what I thought I saw. For a second, I considered just agreeing and walking off, but I knew I had to do what was right. I told him he was manipulating girls at our school, and that what he was doing was illegal. He said nothing, but he walked over and locked his door. I started making my way towards the window, my heart pounding. Was he going to hurt me? He told me that he cared for Macy. If I told anyone what had happened, she would be in huge trouble. Her parents would be mad at her, and they might even make her transfer schools. As he was saying all this, my mind was racing. I didn't want to get Macy in trouble. She probably won't want to be friends with you anymore, Mr. Cliff said, and I won't want to be your teacher anymore. You'll have that mean old Mr. Baber. When those words came out of his mouth, I realized the truth. It wasn't about Macy getting in trouble. It was about him getting in trouble. He didn't care about my friendship or Macy's well-being. He only cared about being exposed and losing his job. I can't let you hurt my friends. I'm not going to let you manipulate me like you manipulated her, I yelled. Mr. Cliff started walking, anger in his eyes. I threw open the window and dove out. Just as he was about to reach me, I ran home through the woods, tears in my eyes. When I got home, I collapsed at the kitchen table. I wanted to tell my parents, but I was terrified to. I started to cry at the kitchen table, and that's when my parents came in, asking me what was wrong. After a few minutes of fighting with myself, I broke down and told them everything. The police came moments later, and I made them promise that Macy wouldn't be in trouble. They promised that she would be just fine at school. The next morning, police officers led Mr. Cliff away.